How's it going, everybody? And we are back with another beatbox reaction video, and today we have the first top 8 quarterfinal battle for the BBU 22, and that's going to be Dropical versus Beard. So I think that for me, in my own personal opinion, out of all the rounds that we have seen in the top 16 in the battles, I think that Dropical's round against Wing was still my personal favorite. I think out of all of them, for a lot of different reasons. I think that what he did in that round in particular was absolutely incredible, outstanding, and yeah, it's pretty crazy because that was the first battle, I believe, that was aired when this competition started online. So everything that came after it, we had a lot of great things coming after it, obviously, but for me, my personal opinion, that single round from Dropical is still the very peak of what this competition has been as of right now. So I think it would be a little bit unfair to expect a repeat of what he did. The greatness that he had in that round in particular, I don't think is fair to expect something along that lines again for this round against Beart. But obviously there's still a little bit of a hope there, I think, because of what we've seen him do in the past. Maybe he can kind of replicate that again in a round against Beart. But yeah, with that being said, Beart's round obviously was very amazing as well. It's kind of crazy because Beart's been around the scene for so long and he's been battling for so long that it's still kind of mind-blowing that he can come up with such like creative rounds still, considering how long he has been around. He's like that old dog who just won't get put down, you know, and he's just a crazy beatboxer, and he just proves it every single time. Like whenever anyone has any slight of doubt of Beart's capability, he just comes and proves them wrong again. And yeah, I'm a big fan of Beart, obviously, as well. I've been watching him for a very long time. He's one of the very first beatboxers I got into when I started watching beatboxing like almost a decade ago. So I think this battle is probably going to be pretty crazy, like the crazy format and style that Dropical has really embraced in his round against Wing. Hopefully he'll be able to replicate it again here, and just the overall experience and crazy kind of battle style that Beart brings to his whole kind of style as a whole for this competition as well. So I'm looking forward to this one, guys. Obviously, this one is probably going to be pretty crazy. Hopefully, I'm really hoping it will be. It has the entire recipe to be amazing, I think. So hopefully it lives up to that expectation that I'm putting for it. But anyway, guys, enough of me talking. Let's get right into the video. But before we do, I will definitely be doing my grading again at the end of the video. So if you want to stick around and see who I believe won the battle based on the criteria that I'm using to grade the battle, then feel free. So without further ado, let's get right into the video.
I'm not gonna touch or snatch your cap. Don't wanna see that bolt catch you.
Oh my god, already.
And they know what to say. They're gonna say 667. dead, but I have something to tell. That is not the end. Gonna meet you in hell. You cannot keep the same BBM. You couldn't even keep your first name. You changed many mates and BBX. Hey, tag team whore, give your mouth some rest. Get ready.
He did it again, guys. He did it again. Oh my god.
Set it off. Nothing lost. Turn it on. Get it done. Time is ticking, but your beats have a limit. Set it off. Nothing lost. Turn it on. Get it done. Maybe you should be playing with the trumpet. No. Set it off.
The control's crazy.
Nice. Am I in focus? Very good, very good. We are going to do something very special today. We are going to create DROPICAL. Yes, yes, yes. Safety first. Yes, yes, yes. All we need is a little bit of technicality. You ready? Technicality. We add it to the mix, yes. A little bit more, not too much. Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. Yes, yes. And then all we need is a little bit of musicality. We add it to the mix. Not too much, just a little bit. Yes, yes. And now we need structure. Structure.
Oh my god.
Structure. Where is the structure?
Oh my god. What a battle. What a battle. Okay guys, so that was DROPICAL versus BArt, and yeah, first thing I want to say, I think hands down, this was the best battle so far of the entire competition, and that says a lot because we had a lot of crazy things happen in this competition already just in the first round, but this one I think is by far my favorite battle, and for a lot of different reasons. So yeah, let's start off with DROPICAL first, obviously. I said a lot about DROPICAL at the beginning of the video. I praised his round against Wing for being my favorite round out of the entire competition. And I thought it was a little bit unfair to expect him to kind of replicate that greatness that he did against Wing into a round, especially against someone like BArt. But again, I was proven completely wrong there. I think that the round that DROPICAL did against BArt here was absolutely amazing as well in his own right, and pretty much lived up to the expectations that probably a lot of people had just based on the round that he had against Wing, and I think for me personally it met the expectations that I would have had as well. So obviously this guy does a lot of research, I think, because there's a lot of things that he did in that round that is really deep cuts, and some things that is pretty infamous in the battle scene for BArt, particularly, especially the hat thing, and some things along those lines that really pushed him in that battle category, I think, for this round in particular against BArt. And there's a lot of things to digest, specifically in DROPICAL's round, because there's a lot of things that he did in this round that I probably didn't even pick up in for the first listen to. I listened to it twice before I started talking to you guys here in this analysis portion, but yeah, there's a lot of things obviously to digest in DROPICAL's round, but I think the standout for me, obviously, is that later portion. He's a very technical beatboxer, so the first like 2/3 of that was a lot of like technical kind of things. He took a lot of jabs at BArt, but it's that later portion where he kind of did this really cool concept where he did a tag team portion. I don't know if he was playing off what BArt did in his first battle. I can't remember who he battled in that first battle, but he had kind of like the split screen where you had one version of BArt on one side and the other version of BArt on the other side, and it kind of worked as like a tag team duo, even though they didn't beatbox at the same time. But this is what DROPICAL did for his battle in particular, so I'm not sure if that's allowed. Probably is, seeming that it was uploaded, so I don't think it's like disqualified him or anything, but a really cool concept, and I think it worked out so well because what we got was like a tag team dynamic of two DROPICALs and kind of playing at the kind of style overall that BArt has, and I just played out so well, and the end result version of that particular portion of that video was the biggest standout for me, I think, and it was probably one of the biggest highlights of this entire competition so far because it's an interesting concept that we haven't seen very much at all. We've seen videos, standalone videos with that kind of like style overall on YouTube before, but in this competition, this is the first time we've seen something like that. So I think it worked out very well and definitely give him some originality points in terms of being the first person to kind of take that concept and make it work so well in the video. But overall, the entire video kind of was like a cutthroat battle round again, like he had against Wing, but this time it leaned a little bit more into the battle kind of aspect, which is really exciting because when you have this kind of format when you're making this video, it's kind of really hard to create rounds like that because a lot of these people lean more into like the musicality and they have more freedom to do that kind of thing. But battling is usually traditionally works more well in a face-to-face kind of perspective, like you're battling someone on stage. And it's really, I think I'd imagine it'd be really hard to kind of replicate that energy that would come along with those battles on stage onto a screen like this. But Dropical is like proving everyone that he's like a master of taking this kind of concept and pretty much providing everything possible you could want from this concept into the video that he's been giving us, like the Wing one and now with the B art. It kind of gives me like the vibes that Robin did with his kickback battles. Not saying that the styles are obviously completely different, but Robin kind of revolutionized and evolved what was possible to be done in this kind of format and took it to the next level, just like Dropical is doing here. So absolutely mind-blowing, guys. So many things to digest, and it'd take me way too long to talk about it all. So I just really enjoyed his round. I thought he did a lot of things great, and I'll give him a lot of points for like pretty much every category that I'm using the grading. Very, very hard to top something like that, but again, B art comes in out of nowhere and probably gives his most impressive routine, most impressive showing that I've ever seen from B art, period. I think I've been watching B art for a very, very long time, so I want to say that right off the bat, that I remember watching B art back in like 2013, 2014. I remember the first battle I've ever seen B art in was a battle against Alem at La Cup in 2014, I believe, and that was my first introduction to B art, and I thought that was absolutely amazing. Watching him evolve throughout the years, and now seeming that he's been around for so long and he's still able to evolve himself at such a high level and able to provide us with content like we've seen in this. Like watching him back then, now watching him today, the difference and the progression that he's made is absolutely mind-blowing. And I don't think many beatboxers that has been around for as long as he has can say the same thing. Usually people like taper away or temper out, but B art has been evolving consistently over the years, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. And this is honestly the best showing I think I've seen from him. The best routine, I think, the craziest routine, the most technical routine, most intricate routine, and the craziest battle routine that I've ever seen from him, period, on all fronts. What he did in this round here was absolutely nothing short of spectacular, I think, especially coming up against a round that Dropical just did, seeming what he did against his battle against Wing, and now what he did to B art. That was probably a lot of pressure on B art's shoulders, assuming that he's seen the round before he made his. I'm not really sure how that process goes, but I'm going to assume that, seeming that Dropical was in the battle above him. Or maybe, I think B art ranked higher, actually, so I'm not really sure how that works, but I'm assuming he saw that round before Dropical saw B art's round, so there's probably a lot of pressure for B art to come up with something really crazy like that. But he did, and it turned out to be absolutely crazy. All the jabs that he took, all the references from Dropical's round against Wing, and obviously the ultimate like stab at the end, kind of commenting on Dropical's style overall, and kind of like putting some silence to the potential overhype that some people might have for him, I think, and that was a really, really smart thing to do. And oh my god, it's just mind-blowing. I'm kind of at a loss for words. Like, that was so impressive, and I don't really know what else to say other than like, holy shit, like, honestly. Oh my god, so many different things to digest from B art's round as well. Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway for me is that kind of like new school technicality that he's been developing, and it showed like just like a glimpse of it in his battle against Remix, but it went to like it shined so bright here in this this battle against Dropical. Like the combination of the sounds that he was able to do, I'm not sure if they were edited or snipped in to make it sound like that, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I know who B art is, I know how great he is as a beatboxer. I think that was real. Obviously it was enhanced a little bit with the sound quality, but I think like the combinations of sounds that we actually heard in this video was actually definitely raw, and actually he's actually able to produce that, I think, to its full extent. I would not be surprised. So crazy mind-blowing battle, guys. Again, a lot to digest. I know I've been saying that. It's just how it is. Like when you're reacting to stuff and trying to analyze it after the first viewing is a little bit hard to grasp onto everything that you see and try to explain it into the most detail as you possibly can. But I think this is definitely the best battle that we've had so far. It really lived up to the true meaning of what a battle could be and what I really want and wish to see from this kind of competition. Honestly, after the first rounds, I didn't think we'd be getting rounds quite as good as we had in the first round. But maybe that's not true. Maybe it's going to keep evolving and getting better and better as more people go on and kind of grasp the concept of this competition and the whole format and stuff. So anyway, guys, I've been talking for a long time. That's the end of this analysis part. First reaction, who I thought won the battle. Man, this is very, very close. I want to give it the BR just because of the shock factor and how amazing and how unexpectedly great that round actually turned out to be. And another part of me wants to give it the Dropical because he was able to replicate the greatness of that he had in this round that he kind of had in his first round against Wing 2. So again, it's going to come down to the way I grade it and the scores of the categories that I use. So if you guys want to stick around and see my grading of the battle and who I believe won based on the total scores of the grading and the categories I use, then feel free. If not, guys, I will see you guys in the next BBU 22 quarterfinal battle.